Better than I deserve.
Better than I deserve. That's not true.
That was deep. That was deep.
What's up, D?
Not too much, Coach.
Oh, look at that. Look at you.
I'm good. Yes, sir.
Oh, no, it was, he gave me a thumbs up, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Coach, where are you at with Drake London going into the work week here?
I'm going to give him all the week.
Mm-hmm.
We started talking about week to week.
Okay.
So I don't know what the proper term is, but doubtful for me. But I'm sure he'll give you whatever the letter of the law is. He'll be. He looks good. He's moving around. I'm happy that we'll be getting him back soon. Just not sure how soon.
And how did Matthew Bergeron play in his return?
Good. Obviously had the scare when he went down, got kind of like whipped. Hit the ankle, but he was able to return in the game. So he looked good coming back. It was great to have him back out there, energetic. Obviously, one of our guys that we count on a lot, the guys that can do a lot for us, hitting, winning, and, obviously filled in very nicely for Matthew Burge and all that type of stuff as he introduced himself to me last week. But it was great to have him back out there. It was good to have him back with his fellas. It was good to have the guys, playing together and playing well.
I'm sorry, you were saying you consider Drake doubtful this week.
Yeah, you say doubtful. He's moving around well. He's doing some things, You always take those kind of guys up to the last minute, but, week to week, I don't think it's this week.
I forgot to ask you Sunday about Casey Washington. Was he a healthy scratch?
Healthy scratch, obviously made some decisions on personnel things that we were doing last week. So he was down. He wasn't one of the guys that we relied on to try to win that football game. We'll see this week where we're at and what we can do, but he was down last week for sure.
Was Drake, as you expected, kind of wanting to play last Sunday?
The one thing I knew going into is I can't ask Drake. But you know what I mean. Got to go with the doctor. Got to go with our medical team and all our performance team and things that we got going on here. Obviously he looks great. He'll probably feel great today. He'll probably feel better as we get going. He'll probably feel better throughout the course of the week. And then if something happens that we get cleared and do all those things, we'll do those things. But right now, I wouldn't say that is the case.
What went into the decision to name Caden Ellis the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award nominee for the Falcons?
Caden Ellis. I mean, that's self-explanatory. The guy is in our community. The guy is for our team. He's our captain. He's one of the better people I've been around in my life, just in general, football or whatever. Just in all walks, all fashions of life. You're talking about family man. You're talking about in our community. You're talking about in his community, his family, his brothers. It's just a bunch of things where you can go into all those phases of it and make him that guy. So, like for Caden, it feels really normal and really right.
The offense that you ran Sunday with Kirk so much under center and play action, I'm wondering if that's the offense you envisioned when you signed Kirk and weren't able to do as much of it because of his mobility issues.
Definitely. With the pistol, when he started was really, to help him to be able to get back from the injury and things of that nature. As he got comfortable during the season, we were able to move him to the up under. You probably thinking more familiar with the pistol stuff and a lot of the shotgun stuff from the offseason program and how we trained him, how we prepared him, coming off of the injury. A lot of our stuff happened from that first OTA days with him, those first 7-on-7s with him. He got really comfortable doing those things and got into that world. But, what he's traditionally done in his career has been up under center. Has been, he's done a lot of gun stuff as well, a lot of pistol stuff as well. We did a lot of pistol in Washington when he was a young pup, but, coming off the RG3 thing, following those game plans. So he's been familiar with both, but he's done a lot of the different things from up under and back in the pistol all over the place. So realistically, he's done a lot of those things, but he's definitely been up on center doing a lot of those things, I can remember his first strike throw from up under center. It was called drifting, but I can remember all those things.
When was that?
In D.C.
In D.C.?
Yeah, sure.
What personality have the Jets taken on with Tyrod in there?
Obviously, Tyrod's been around for a long time. He does a nice job of delivering the football out of his hands, getting it to different people. He knows how to do that. He's done that for a while. He's always been a master of the offense. He's been in this league as a backup for a lot of years. He's done a great job of learning multiple offenses, really being able to train people, becoming that extra coach really on the grass. And when he's had his opportunities to play, he's played well. He's had the chance to start before, and he started well. He started against us before, whether he's with Giants, whether he was in LA, whether he's had the ability to do it now as the Jets starting quarterback. So, like, you got a professional over there, a guy with a lot of experience, a seasoned guy, a guy that can come out and dictate and tell you exactly probably what they did on defense. He gives them a lot of versatility when it comes to those things in the pass game. He's definitely has some athleticism. No, not just in field athleticism, but definitely still has all the athleticism, ability to move. Obviously a little bit older, but he's still a threat to run and move the chains and, be able to slide up in his escape lanes to be able to still deliver the football down the field or pick up the necessary yards you need to do with his feet.
In Hall, he's looks like they're trying to get him the ball a lot. I guess he had a fumble last week, but what you have to prepare for a running back like Bryce?
Brees is an absolute monster, so he's like one of those guys that's fast. He's dynamic. He runs hard, and they're trying to get to them ball. Obviously you hear the coach talking about a bunch, getting the ball like we do, Bajan, whether it be out the backfield and catches or just handling the football in the backfield. They got a nice duo they got going back there. Obviously they lost their young man from Wisconsin, I believe it's Wisconsin, early in their season, but they've done a nice job of still being able to supplement that stuff with different people. But Brees is a problem. He has been since he's been in the National Football League. I know he had a little bit of injury history, early, had some early this year, and been able to bounce back and looks really good.
Zane Gonzalez had 2 big field goals from 50 yards out and further. He's only the second Falcons kicker to do that in a single game. How confident are you that he has kind of solved the kicking issues this season?
I am extremely excited about it. I brought it up in our own team meeting, talking about the operational piece that we've been able to gain from having Zane back there, being able to line up and kick those field goals and, kind of making those necessary preparational things that you need to do. Only looking at those kicks when one of those ones is sending you to overtime or sending you to a win, things of that nature, getting back accustomed to doing those things, which he's provided that operational piece. He's done a nice job of doing that. He's provided a lot of steady hand for us when it comes to those things, and he's also taken over some of the kickoff responsibilities for us as well, being able to provide the knuckleball that's run through the league, and he's been able to provide a couple of those as well and do some really good things and provide some good kicks across the board. So the things he's given us, I'm really excited about, and so is his teammates.
Last season versus this season with D. Alford seemed to be kind of night and day. How have you seen him just really get comfortable and grow his confidence this year? D. Alford,
always has a lot of confidence. Last year it was shaken a little bit, based on a couple of games that we didn't have as well. Some of the stuff even last year wasn't his fault that we kind of blamed him for, not we, but, the outside world. But he's done a nice job bouncing back this year, done a great job of really locking in the defense, owning a bunch of different personnel, buffing different positions. When A.J. went out, he had to fill in as the lead dog corner in A.J.'s shoes. Hughes goes out, he has to fill in for Hughes as the secondary guy. Billy's been out, and he has to go and play nickel, and now eventually settling when Billy got hurt last week to going in nickel and being a start nickel, hopefully for the rest of the season and being able to get those things done. But his knowledge, the things that he can do for us, his versatility, the teammate that he is when he plays on special teams, the teammate he does when he's been a returner, the things that he has to do as an emergency safety. He's done so many different things for us. He's smart. He's unique. He's one of those guys that you count on and you can depend on at all times.
Can you tell he's having a good season himself, like personally? Just whether it's on a day-to-day basis, you can just tell he's enjoying playing.
D's pretty personable with me, so I can always tell when he's having a bunch of fun. So even when he was not having a bunch of fun, I can always give him some type of pick-me-up to talk to him. And I believe last year, even when he had a rough game, telling him that he was a starting nickel in the National Football League, he was very appreciative of that. And he's very appreciative of the confidence the coaches had around him. So I love what's happening for him. I love to see him some success. And now he's interested in getting some team success.
The curveball, since it's just us in your chat. There were moments in your career where you were struck by how strong some of these guys are, just physically strong. I think sometimes
the players,
don't just kind of take it for granted. But are there moments that you remember thinking, "Holy crap"?
There've been a lot of moments like that, and some of the moments have been less like the guys who are weight strong, but just the natural strength of some of the guys. I remember LeGarrette Blount, my first time seeing him run the football and knowing he didn't lift weights and just how strong he was and how big he was and how physical of a runner he was. And then there's guys here like that. And then the training and the methodology of everything that they do to get ready now is so different. You're blown away and awed by Jake Matthews and his longevity and his ability to go out there every single week and just watching them fight through everything that happens in the football game. That gives me a real awe in a sense of wow. You know, Bajan, you know, obviously he's a freak in everything and all facets of it, whether it's catching, running, lifting, racing, rapping, singing, whatever, acting, anything that he does, I'm always in awe by his ability to do those things. And then, you know, these newer guys, these rookies coming in and being able to contribute like they have has been always put you into awe. And you know, anytime you go into an O-line lift, you'll find something to really be in awe about. Anytime you go into watching the secondary or these receivers run, you'll find something to be awed about, and they provide that for you every single day. So, like, I'm never shocked when I see something different on another team because you see it in your own team and you know somebody else got some hidden gem somewhere.
Anything else?
Any update on Michael?
I had a surgery, went well. You know, obviously, got a chance to do that yesterday. Really fired up about that, and really fired up about his when he comes back and his plan for coming back.
All right, thanks, y'all.
All right, guys.
Reggie,
Thank you.